Today we have brand new leaks and reveals in the world of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. During the development time of the game, why it's been delayed so much, as well as what they are going to be doing moving forward with the story mode, online, and more. So let's just talk about the information we have so far and get right into it. And of course, I'll put in my thoughts and commentary as we look through this information. So for context, Dragon Ball creator or anime YouTuber Sofian Lee Geek posted some new information regarding the development of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Now for this, I'm just going to assume that everything is true, and if you're skeptical, then this isn't the video for you. From now on, I'm not gonna waste my time debating on whether it's true or false. So I'm gonna assume it's true because that's what the videos are about, and I'm gonna get paid. So yeah, let's go into it. So this guy, seen him before. Let's look into what the highlights of his video are. So of course, credit to Venixis, but Sofian says, in 2020, I was one of the few Frenchmen to officially announce to you that his Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 was in development, and I can prove it with my video from 2020. He posted the proof on his YouTube channel. I was alongside the Xenoverse 2 development team. Dragon Ball FighterZ producer Tomoko Hiroki was also there for a Dragon Ball FighterZ event. I don't recall what this could have been, but I'm sure it's I'm sure it's there. I'm sure there are videos probably, but it's hard for me to say because it's been so long. That's just commentary for me. Anyway, he says, indeed, I was able to chat with them briefly. It was very quick, but they were there to take notes for the next title. So to me, everything implied that it was for Xenoverse 3, and I told you that in the video you could find on my YouTube channel. Now, if I recall correctly, FighterZ obviously came out after Xenoverse 2, and I believe Dragon Ball Z Kakarot came out not too long after, or maybe it could have been, but regardless, whatever happened during that time, the implication is that they were taking notes for Xenoverse 3, which makes sense because, at the time, Xenoverse 2 was doing very good, very popular, so why not capitalize on a Xenoverse 3, especially in an immediate time? But here's where the issue kind of resides. To which he says, but then why are there so many years of development for the next Xenoverse? Yeah, it's been more than a decade now. Because there was a massive delay and a new strategic choice was adopted. Here's the information I got from his sources. I'm just going to assume that it's true. The game Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 was a bit prettier than Xenoverse 2, but it was nothing exceptional compared to the rest of the competition. Translation, it probably didn't compare well to a game like Dragon Ball FighterZ, which set the bar very high. No matter what some of you people think, when there's competition, with different games, then the developers have to keep upping the ante. That's what competition is like. You can't just put out a game that looks barely better when you're not doing an incentive enough, when you have a game like Arc System that FighterZ, where if FighterZ looks massively better, and people start criticizing Xenoverse 3, if it released during that time, then it's not going to be good. Not at all. This is why the power of social media, the power of advertising, the power of the fan base is a very big thing, and it's only been increasing. Anyway, and consequently, they wanted to level up the graphics by redoing everything from scratch, from A to Z regarding this title. That's why there was a delay. I actually believe that this is true. They must have had a lot of discussions, and someone must have gotten into the main producer's head to where they said, okay, let's take kind of a step back and let's kind of think. Do you want to put out a half-baked sequel that's barely better than Xenoverse 2? Because the jump from Xenoverse 1 and Xenoverse 2 was nowhere near as big it should have been, especially when it comes to games. With the DLC, it's a big jump now, but if you just include the base game and no DLC, then yeah, well. Anyway, afterwards, they also decided to deepen the game to offer an optimal experience for the player. I even spoke with my friend Sakyo Devin, I've seen that guy's name floating around a few times, who confirmed my sources and also heard that Xenoverse 2 was supposed to be developed onto the PS4 and PS5. PS4. And consequently, if you develop it on the PS4, you find it yourself graphically limited. And that's why they explained to me that they want to do a complete graphical overhaul to push the game for much further. Not to mention, there are mods for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 where the actual models and the mods look much, much better than the base game. So it's like, yeah, you can't be developing on the PS4. And if you're still complaining about not having the PS4 or not having a PS5 and not wanting to make the jump, then get a job, save up. Come on, it's been so many years now. And that's when taking into account the current year landscape, or get a PC. You can't keep limiting us just because you're in financial distress. As harsh as it may be, games have to constantly improve. So you have to get out with the old and get with the new. That's just how it is. Anyway, let's look at this. It would be a next-gen exclusive with a gaming experience. From what I've been told, much more developed with a much more developed online mode and a well-crafted story mode, because that's what we were talking about. Actually having a successful, well-deepened game with tons of content. Logically, that is what they told me, that there will be quite a bit of content that will be truly deep, and consequently, I want to know more about it. Basically, other than the graphics, the story mode is likely going to be much more in-depth, as well as an online mode. They could depending on how many years and the budget, they could hypothetically have a very well developed story mode and focus on the online mode. Whether online mode will be good or not, then that remains to be seen. But technically speaking, they don't have to just focus on PvP like fighting game nuts or Sparking Zero fanboys only want. You could kind of have the online mode developed with raids or certain activities or adventures, play with players, etc. And yeah, obviously this is like a summary in case you don't want to read through all of that, but essentially that's pretty much it. I do agree that this, even though it's been a long time, I don't mind the aspect of so many DLCs if it means that we get a much more developed game a la Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Xenoverse 3 is one of the best chances to be one of the top games of all time. But of course, it could be that way if they, one, focus on the graphics very well. Like, you can't just have a small upgrade compared to Xenoverse 2. Focus on the content. Do not focus on the PvP nuts. Because at the end of the day, if you focus on the PvP nuts, if you focus on crybabies who complain about online mode and the fighting system and the PvP, you're not really gonna get anywhere, because it's just a moving goalpost with these guys. But the content, the gameplay, obviously, which obviously is logical, but whether or not it'll make a big difference, of course, remains to be seen. The point is, make it much better looking. Focus on the fighting system. Focus on the story mode. Focus on the online aspect. You have all of that. It could be, and with the Mover Arc coming, it could be one of the best games of all time and be better than Dragon Ball Sparkle Zero, or force that game to up its ante. And well, we have a lot of competition, and competition can be a good thing. But yeah, that's it for now.